Siener van Rensburg was a simple Boer farmer, not some fancy scholar or politician. Yet his visions have fascinated South Africans for over a century. Born in 1864 in the Transvaal, he became a trusted advisor to the Boers during the Anglo-Boer War. And people say he predicted some big events. 2 world wars, the fall of apartheid, and South Africa's struggles today. But the one prophecy that still gets people talking is the so-called Night of the Long Knives, a vision that some believe warns of chaos and violence in the country's future. Before we continue, please like this video and subscribe to this channel and share with your friends. The story goes that he saw a time when the government would be weak, leaders would betray their people, and violence would erupt. Some say he described an uprising where white South Africans would be attacked in their homes, caught off guard by a sudden wave of brutality. Words like rivers of blood and fire in the streets often get thrown around when people talk about this vision. The idea of South Africa plunging into chaos overnight has made many uneasy, but the truth behind the prophecy is not so simple. Siener never wrote anything down himself. Most of what we hear today comes from people who claim to remember what he said or who wrote about it long after he was gone. That's why his visions are so open to interpretation, and depending on who you ask, you'll get a different version of what it all means. Some see it as a genuine warning, others as a misunderstood metaphor, and some believe it has been exaggerated or even invented over time. Some people believe it's a literal warning, a prophecy that one day South Africa will explode into a full-blown racial war. They point to crime, corruption, and land debates as signs that we're heading there. Some have even moved to remote farms, preparing for the worst, believing that Siener's words must be taken seriously. They argue that history has a way of repeating itself, and that those who ignore the warnings of prophets do so at their own peril. Others say the prophecy isn't about physical bloodshed, but rather about the collapse of the country. Economic downfall, political betrayal, and social unrest. Maybe the rivers of blood Siener saw weren't real, but a symbol of suffering and hardship for everyone, not just one group of people. A country on its knees, businesses collapsing, people struggling to survive. Perhaps that is the true warning hidden within his words. Then there are the skeptics who say the whole thing has been blown out of proportion. There's no clear record of Siener ever using the words Night of the Long Knives. Some reckon it's just a fear-driven story that has grown bigger with time, especially during uncertain periods in the country's history. Fear spreads quickly, and when times are tough, people look for explanations and prophecies to make sense of it all. The most dangerous part of this whole thing is how people react to it. If enough people believe something bad is going to happen, they might start making choices that bring it about. Fear can make people act in ways they wouldn't normally, and that's when things really go wrong. If a large number of people are convinced that disaster is inevitable, they may take actions that lead to the very conflict they fear. So what must we do with this prophecy? Believe it? Ignore it? Prepare for it? That's up to you. The world is full of chaos and uncertainty, and South Africa has had its fair share of both. But fear has never been a good guide, and it never will be. The more we focus on division and doom, the more we create the kind of future we fear. The more we choose unity, wisdom and care for one another, the better chance we have of building something strong instead of waiting for it all to fall apart. At the end of the day, no matter what happens, God is in control. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. 2 Timothy 1:7. There is no need to let fear rule our lives. Rather than living in fear of what might happen, let's focus on living wisely, looking out for each other, and trusting that no matter what the future holds, we're not alone. History is filled with dark times, but it is also filled with moments of hope and resilience. The choice between the two is always ours. Thank you for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell to receive our next exploratory video.